yogis, welcome back to Zyre Yoga. I'm Kayla. So you should know this already based on the fact that you clicked on this video, but today we're going to be doing yoga for when you're hungover. So I have my ginger tea here for my stomach. I had probably at least one too many drinks last night. It was Cinco de Mayo here in current time, so a couple of margaritas, some tequila sunrises. It was a lot of fun, just me and my husband hanging out in our kitchen, but stomach's not feeling great today. A little bit low energy, so we're going to do a flow to sort of try to sort me out before I have to go out through the rest of my day. Hopefully you're feeling a little bit better than I am. If you're not, if you're feeling really bad, please just turn this off and go take a nap instead. Yoga's not going to fix this. But if you're just feeling a little bit cruddy, a little bit low energy, and maybe slight headache, hydrate, and then grab a pillow, and we're going to do some yoga. So we're going to start out in child's pose. I'm going to take a pillow to put my head on. Knees wide, toes together, just sink yourself down. You can make like a diamond shape with your arms if that feels good. And just get comfortable here. Try to let your hips sink back. And we'll just start to lengthen our breath. Try to feel that connection between your body and the floor. And just see if every time that you're inhaling, you can fill your lungs up as much as possible, bringing some new life and energy into your body. When you exhale, see if you can just exhale everything out, getting that dead stagnant air out of your lungs, making space for that new energy. Then when you're ready, we're just going to take that right arm, thread it underneath the left, relax yourself down, maybe bring your right cheek down to the floor. So you're coming to a little bit of a twist here. If you'd like to have a mantra or sort of an intention to repeat in your mind through your practice, I'm feeling great is the one I'm going to use. Sort of convince my brain and my body that I'm not a little hungover. So from here, if it feels good, we're just going to take the left arm back behind us, see if we can just bring that right arm a little further forward, start to pull the belly in, bringing that constriction around the waist. And then slowly unwinding back to center, and just take the other side. So left arm under the right, bring your left cheek down. And then if it feels good, bringing that right hand behind you, just scoot that left arm a little further forward. Starting to feel that constriction in your waist, around your navel. then when it feels good, slowly come back to center. Move that pillow out of the way. Shift yourself up. Find your way into all fours, and we'll just start to flow through cat and cow a few times. Moving nice and slowly. When it feels good, find your way back into center. And we're going to start to shift the hips side to side rather than up and down. So you're just going to bring your left hip over, looking over towards it with your head, and then to the other side. And then find your way back into center after this next one. Flow through one more round of cat and cow. And then we're just going to take the hands a little bit further forward. Reach your left leg back, toes tucked under. Start to press out through your heel. Maybe just pulsing a couple of times. Try to bring your focus back to that breath. Really lengthening, really breathing as much air in as you can. Bring that knee down, we'll switch to the other side. So just kind of pulsing back onto that heel, moving slowly. And then we'll come back into center, knees wide again. Start to press your hips back. Keep your gaze forward, looking up. When you're ready, inhale, come forward. Bring your hips towards the floor. Your toes are still touching. And we'll just do this a couple of times. Moving with your breath, inhaling long, deep inhales, and exhaling everything out of those lungs. When you're ready, coming back into your child's pose, holding here. We're going to walk the hands to the left, right hand on top of that left hand. Just sink that hip back, maybe resting your head on your right arm. Feel the stretch down the side of your body. Maybe telling yourself, I'm feeling great. And then slowly make your way back through center, over to the other side, left hand on top, maybe bringing your head onto that left arm. And then slowly move your way back to center. Walk your hands back towards your knees. We're going to come to sitting on the heels. So if it feels better for you to sit with your legs crossed, sitting down on your booty like in an easy seat, you can find your way there and stay there. Otherwise, just sitting on the heels. We're going to take the hands back behind the back. Bend the elbows and bring your fists into your spine and just roll the chest open. Inhaling, maybe lift the chin. Try not to arch in your low back. We're just opening up the chest. Full long inhales. One more time here. Before we move out of this, notice which thumb you have on top. And then we're going to inhale the arms up. Lengthen really tall as you exhale. Just twist over to the left. Maybe bringing the left arm around to your low back. Right arm just onto your leg. Open up through those collarbones, pull in through your belly. You're not arching your back. Just trying to stimulate everything going on in that digestive system. Inhale, come all the way back up to center. Exhale the hands down behind your back. Take the opposite thumb onto the top. Bend the elbows, press your knuckles into your back. Try to open your chest, not tilting through the spine. So your belly's pulled in. We'll just open up. Maybe looking up. Maybe it feels a little better this time. One more breath here. And then go ahead and reach the arms up, lengthening tall, and we'll twist over towards the right hand coming back behind you. Just finding that twist. Pull in through your belly, don't arch your back. When you're ready, slowly come back through center. Walk your hands forward. Find your way back to all fours. Tuck the toes under. We're just going to start to walk the hands back. Start to roll onto those feet. And then come all the way back down. And we're just going to take that a couple of times. So you're tucking the toes under. You're finding your way into a nice crouch. Trying to send the heels to the floor. And slowly come back out. We'll do one more like that. Finding your way here. And then let's see how we feel in a forward fold. So hands walking back a little bit. We're just going to start to send the hips up. Keep your belly and thighs next to each other. Let your head relax. Maybe shake it yes and no. When you're ready, walk your hands up onto your shins. Lengthen your spine. See if you can get your legs a little longer. And then we'll slide our way back down. Bend the knees as much as you need to. Maybe give yourself a hug. Maybe rock your head forward and back. And then we're going to slide our way all the way up, rolling, reaching to the ceiling when you're ready. Arms up above the head and just shake them. Couple more breaths here. And then we're just going to bring the arms back down. Slowly, slowly make your way back into your fold. Walk your hands out, but come back down onto your knees. Start to cat and cow. And then find your way through center. Pull your belly in. Notice if your hips are a little bit further back, try to bring them over your knees. We're going to start just by threading the needle, so a little bit deeper of a twist this time. We're going to inhale up. On your exhale, you're going to take that left hand through the right arm, hover, look over towards the right. Inhale, opening up. Exhale, thread through. Inhale, opening up. Exhale, thread through. Really pulling in through that core. Inhale up. This time we're going to bring the head and shoulder down. Just relax into this twist. You can bring your right arm around you, maybe holding on to your opposite thigh or just having it on your low back. See if you can open that shoulder, maybe looking up towards the ceiling. When you're ready, slowly come back through center. Take a cat and cow. And then coming back to all fours, we'll do the other side. So starting just with that thread the needle, we'll open up with the right arm. Exhale, thread through, hover, pull your belly in. Start to constrict that core really tough. Not really tough, really hard. Inhale, open up. Exhale, thread through, pulling in tight. Inhale, open up. Exhale, squeeze everything in. Almost massaging those organs. Inhale, open up. Exhale, this time as you come through, head and shoulder down onto the floor. Opposite arm can come behind you. See if you can open your chest up. Try to keep your hips where they are, not shifting to one side. Maybe you can look up at the ceiling. When you're ready, slowly coming back to center. Take a cat and cow. And then we're going to take the toes together and the knees together and come to a closed child's pose. So lengthen your spine as much as you can. Bring your belly along your thighs. Make a pillow with your arms. Breathing here. On your next inhale, arms back out. Slowly come forward. We're going to make our way onto our bellies. So take the tops of your feet, press them down. You want to try to get your little toe pressing into the floor. Squeeze your glutes, hands down on the ground. We're just going to start by coming up just a little bit. On your exhale, roll down. Forehead to the floor. Inhale. Coming up a little more. Exhale, rolling down. One more like that. And then bring your arms out wide. Take your fingertips onto the floor like you got a cupcake under your hand, and we're going to just come a little higher. So if this doesn't feel great on your low back, you don't have to come so high, but press your pelvis into the floor. You can even keep kind of a long, straight spine rather than that arch. And then we're going to lower back down one little piece of your body at a time. So almost like you're trying to massage your belly with the floor. So we'll come up, inhaling, take as much air in as you can. As you exhale, slowly roll down. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, roll it down. We'll take one more like this. See if you can maybe bring those low ribs, start to squeeze your upper back. Still pressing into the floor with the feet and the pelvis. As you exhale, lower back down. Make a pillow with your hands, rock your hips. And then slowly coming up, you're going to come onto your right arm, forearm, so that you can just support yourself. Bring your left leg in, see if you can reach back for your foot, give yourself a quad stretch, and then you can come down lower if you need to. Squeeze your booty, try to press the hips into the floor, maybe you can reach the knee off the ground. Just deepening that stretch. If this feels good, using your right hand to balance, you press your foot into your hand, start to open your chest up, coming into like a half bow pose. Maybe you can reach the leg higher. As you exhale, slowly lower back down. Take a moment here in center. I'm going to have a sip of my tea. When you're ready for it, we'll do the other side. So you're going to bring your right leg in. You're up on your left forearm for support. Once you can grab your foot, if it feels good, you can bring yourself all the way down. Just like before, squeeze towards the floor. Maybe you can lift the knee off the ground. Put your hips pressing down so you're getting that stretch through the quad. Just like on the other side, if it feels good, squeezing your glutes down, Using that left hand to balance you, maybe you can press your foot into your hand, coming into that half bow pose. Try not to let this feeling come into your low back, so you're really pressing the pelvis down as hard as you can. And then slowly lower. Make yourself a pillow. If you have some tea, maybe have a sip, or have a sip of water. And then we're going to bring our arms out into a T. You're going to take your left or your right foot pointed up towards the ceiling. You're just going to press over, tap it on the ground, come through center and the other side. So our arms are staying down. We're just doing a little bit of movement with that low body. Rocking across the belly. One more time here. And then we're going to come back into center. Take the hands right underneath the shoulders. Press yourself up. Hips back. Find a child's pose. And then arms out in front of you. We're going to slowly make our way up to all fours. You're going to step that right foot out in front of you. Find your way into a nice lunge. So your hands can stay on the ground if you need to. I'm going to come up a little bit higher. If it feels good, fists into your back, elbows bent, open your chest up. Try not to put this into your low back. So you're using those fists to press your back forward. Maybe you can sink in a little bit more. So we're going to start making a little bit more movement, trying to bring some energy into the body. When it feels good, hands down to the ground if they're not there already. We're just going to start shifting forward and back through that half split. Moving at whatever pace feels good for you. And then finding your way back into that lunge. Left hand down to the floor. Let's just twist towards the right leg. Inhale, bring your hand back around. Shift your weight back. Find all fours. Take a cat and cow. And then we'll do the other side. So finding your way through center, we'll step the left foot up. Finding your lunge. Don't get too deep in it to where it hurts. Just find where it feels good. And if you like to, you can come up. So press into the top of that back foot. It'll take the weight out of your knee. We'll inhale. Maybe bringing the arms up, and then if it feels good, hands into fists behind the back. Press into that low back, so you're pressing your hips forward, keeping your low back flat. Let's see if we can open the chest up. Squeezing the glute on that back leg so that you're not putting the pressure and the weight into your joint. Your muscles are helping you here. And then coming back up, hands down to the floor. We'll start to shift forward and back through that half split. Making sure you squeeze the glute as you shift forward. Try to keep your hips above your knee as you shift back. Focusing on keeping those long inhales and exhales. This next time as you come forward, we'll hold, bringing that right hand down, twisting towards the left. And then on your next inhale, come back to center. Press yourself through all fours, taking a child's pose. When you're ready, if it feels okay, we're going to find our way to downward facing dog. So tuck your toes, send your hips up and back. See how this feels. Keep your knees bent pretty deep. Pedal out your legs. we're just gonna roll our body forward towards a plank. So you can come onto your knees when you do this plank, or you can stay up onto your toes. We're gonna roll, so you're gonna lift your upper back like you're trying to come over something in the middle of your mat, like a hurdle, and then slowly come back down, and we'll bend our knees and send the hips all the way back up. So just keeping those knees bent as much as you need to in your down dog. Don't force them straight. We want to keep our spine nice and long. So rolling forward as you exhale, setting back. Couple of times here. If it feels better for you, you can come into a kneeling plank and back into like a child's pose, rolling through this here. But if you're ready to bring the energy up a little, then we'll just take one more here. Finding our way back to down dog. We're going to lift our left leg. Try to send your right heel down to the floor, and then we're just going to shake that left leg. So like we did with our arms earlier, just shaking it out. And then bending the knees. See if you can open your hips up, but keep those shoulders square down towards the floor. And we're going to step our foot forward, finding not a kneeling lunge, a crescent lunge. So step it all the way up. Back foot is on the ground, but the heel is pressing up. We'll just inhale here. We're going to reach up, lengthen through that front leg. As you sink back down into your lunge, you're going to open your chest. Cactus shaping the arms. Inhale up. Exhale, cactus shape. 2 more like this. Last one here. Hands down to the floor. We're just going to find our way back to downward facing. Pedal out your legs. We'll take a couple more of those rolls if it feels good for you. So just sliding yourself forward, finding your plank. Bend the knees, send yourself back. Try to move with your breath. And again, if this is too much for right now, you can come to your knees. You can skip it completely. Just try to bring a little bit of energy into the body. One more time like this. And we'll hold in our down dog. We're going to lift the right leg, take it up high, try to send your left heel towards the floor and just shake that leg. When you're ready for it, we'll stop shaking. We'll bend the knee, open the hips, try to keep your chest square to the floor. All of this can be done on your knees. And then we're going to step that foot up, finding our crescent lunge. So right foot up to the top of the mat. Your heel of your left foot is pointing straight up. We'll find our crescent lunge to start. Taking the feet a little bit wider if you need to, if your balance is off right now. We'll inhale, lengthen. Exhale, open up. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Last time here. Take the hands down to the floor. Step yourself back into down dog. Paddle your legs, maybe shift your hips. And we're going to walk the hands all the way back to the feet, finding a forward fold. Rock your body. Maybe you want to take a whole body shake here. If it feels okay for you, slowly start to roll up. Let your head be the last thing to come up. And then we'll lift the arms. Take them up above the head, shake them out. So you're doing this at home. Nobody's watching you. Get as funky with it as you can. When you're ready, slowly come all the way back down. Walk your hands back out into down dog. We're going to do the left leg again. So reach the left leg up, send your right heel down, shake that left leg. Bend the knees, see if you can stack your hips, keep the shoulders pointing straight down. And then we'll bring that foot back down, switch to the other side. So right leg up, send your left heel down, shake out that right leg. Bending the knee, open the hips, stacking. And then we're going to bring ourselves back through center, but step that foot up, walk your hands over towards the long edge of the mat. We're just going to find a wide forward fold. Grab opposite elbows, rock yourself. When you're ready for it, come through center. We're going to lift halfway up. Left hand down to the center, right hand onto your low back. Start with just your shoulder and then keeping those hips even. So you're using your right hand to feel the hips are even. Press into both feet. We're going to just press into that left hand. Find your twist. Pulling your core in. And then as you exhale, come back to center. And switch to the other side. So left hand to your low back, right hand's on the floor. Press into both feet. Open your shoulder first and then use your right hand to press yourself a little deeper. Your hips are staying even. It's the last standing thing and the last thing upside down. When you're ready, close it back up. We're just going to walk our hands back over towards the right. Find your way down onto the knees. Take a child's pose. When it feels good, slowly shift yourself back onto your belly. Hands wide. We'll do similar to what we did before. So inhaling the chest up, press into those little toes. Squeeze your glutes. See if you can get a little higher this time. Your low back is nice and flat. You're reaching your chest forward. As you exhale, roll down. Inhale, rolling up. And exhale down. One more like this. Exhale it down. And then staying here in center, we're going to take bow pose. So you can do one leg at a time like we did before, or just take those quad stretches. I'm going to do a full bow pose twice. So I'm going to bring both feet in. I'm going to grab for them to start, just finding that quad stretch through both legs and set myself up first. So I'm pressing my pelvis into the floor. I'm pulling my navel away. I'm keeping my shoulders coming forward, not opening them too far. And I'm just going to press my feet into my hands, letting my chest reach up. Gaze down towards the floor so you're not crunching your low back. See if you can get the legs a little higher. And if it feels good, maybe you can use your breath and those belly muscles to gently rock. When you're ready, release yourself down. Take the soles of the feet towards the ceiling. Rock the hips side to side. And we'll do the same thing one more time. So if you did just one side, do the other side this time. Both feet in if you're taking both. Set yourself up first. So make sure you have your belly pulling in, your pelvis pressing down before you lift. And you don't have your shoulders being pulled back. They're still nice and strong, square to the front. You're lifting through your chest rather than pulling those shoulders open. And then if it feels good, rocking here. When you're ready, release it down. Bringing the soles of the feet up towards the ceiling. Rock it out again. We'll come back to center just like we did before. We're going to start with our arms to the sides, and you can just take that sort of side-to-side tap if you want, or if it feels good, bring your left arm out. Your right hand's going to come under your shoulder. Right foot up. Try to keep your whole left side on the ground, and we're just going to slowly press over. Maybe your foot can come down. Maybe your right hand can come behind you. So don't press too far into this. Don't hurt yourself. Just, actually more slowly than you came into this. Bring your right hand down. We'll slowly press back over. And we're going to take the other side. So do whatever you just did on the other side. So maybe your right arm's going to come out. Left sole of the foot is going to come up. Maybe it can come over onto the floor behind you. You're rolled over onto your right side. Maybe your left arm can come behind you. If this hurts at all, please don't do it. When you're ready, we're going to come back onto our bellies. Very slowly. Reach both arms over your head. I'm going to have some tea. And then when it feels good for you, gently press yourself back up. Come through all fours, take a cat and cow if you like. And then we're just going to make our way over into seated. So legs straight out in front of you. Starting out here, lengthen up tall, hands by your sides, taking staff pose. So shoulders rolling back, press into the floor. Pull your toes back. Try to lengthen down through the hands and up through your spine. On your next exhale, release that. We're going to take the left leg in, cross it over the right leg if that feels good for you. Inhale up really tall. We're going to hug the leg to start. So stay here in center and hug the leg in. So my glutes are really sore from my workout that I did yesterday, but maybe this doesn't feel like much for you. When it feels good for you, we're going to try to keep that knee in, but we're going to twist without using the arm to twist us. So you still want to pull this knee in, but you're just going to use this left shoulder to open yourself up into that twist. Holding here. Try to pull everything in really hard every time you exhale. Maybe you could get a little taller when you inhale. When it feels good, slowly come back to center. We're going to unwind all the way to start. And then keeping this left leg here, we're just going to open the knee out. So you're making a figure 4. You can bring your hand under your knee, or not under your knee, under your foot if it's a little bit too much pressure on your right thigh. Lengthen long, just fold forward a little bit, just to where you feel the stretch. When you're ready, bring your chest back up. Lengthen that leg out, we'll move to the other side. So right leg in, cross it over if that feels good. We're just gonna start by hugging the leg. So noticing if this side maybe feels a little different than the other. Again, maybe this doesn't really feel like much for you because you're not suffering from your yesterday's workout. And then we're gonna try to keep this leg pulled in, but don't use this arm to twist you. You're just gonna reach that right shoulder back, looking over. Maybe you can bring your hand behind you, pull your belly in, see if you can lengthen up, and use the core to twist you over. So this arm's just pulling your leg in towards your chest. And then when you're ready for it, gently unwind. Come to the other side for a moment. We're almost done. I'm certainly feeling better. Hopefully you are. Let that knee drop out. You can start to come into a fold, just reaching your chest long. Maybe you're not coming very far, that's okay. Try to bring that really long breath back. Maybe repeating in your mind, I feel great. And then when you're ready for it, gently coming up, lengthen that leg out. We'll just shake them side to side. So take a moment, if you have a yoga block near you, grab it. If you don't, maybe grab like a big book or some pillows. We're just gonna take a supported bridge pose. I'm gonna use 2 blocks, or 2 bricks actually. Yeah, so just get whatever it is. You can pause, go grab something that you can put your hips on. It can be pillows. When you're ready, soles of the feet onto the ground, knees pointing up. Make sure you have space between the back of your neck and the floor, so the back of your neck's not pressing into it, just the back of your head. We're just gonna gently lift the hips up. Take whatever it is, slide it underneath. Find where it's comfortable to relax your hips down, and we're just gonna hold here for a little bit. Try to take some really long breaths, filling your lungs up, and try to pull everything in as you exhale. So if this feels really good, stay here. If you want to take candlestick, you can. If you want to take yourself over to a wall and do legs up the wall, you can do that too. I like to hold on to my blocks, but if you're using pillows, you might not need to hold on. And just lifting the legs up towards the ceiling, just bringing yourself into that inversion. Maybe wiggling the toes, shaking the legs a little. Kind of reversing that energetic flow from your feet. And then we'll slowly bring the feet back down. If you have them up, if your leg's up the wall, you can stay there. Shift those blocks out from under you. Just windscreen wiper the knees side to side. We'll start just here with a gentle knees side to side. Just a couple of times. Releasing tension in the back, and then if it feels good the next time that you're bringing those knees over to the left, stack them on top of each other, maybe reach your right arm back, finding a little deeper of a twist. And then come back through center, over to the other side. Lengthening out your breath. One more breath here. And then find your way through center, knees into your chest, rock around. Ooh. And then when you're ready, just hug yourself in, give yourself a tight squeeze, a long deep breath, maybe holding it in. And as you exhale, release everything out. Find where you want to be for your Shavasana. We're not going to stay in a long Shavasana. Just taking a moment here to settle back in, bringing the mind into the body, scanning it to see how it feels. On your next inhale, take the arms up above you, your legs long. Take a long breath, shake everything. Knees into the chest again. We're going to rock forward and back a few times if it feels okay. Bringing some big energy into the body. And find your way up. Find your way to a nice seated position. Shake out your shoulders. Ooh. We'll take a deep breath in. As you exhale, exhale everything out. Ooh. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you feel better. I know I feel better, and I'll see you next time.